All right, everyone. People on the left, they're like feeling really optimistic because Jeff Sessions got questioned by Mueller. Now, he went in of his own free will. And he's like, yeah, I'll talk to Mueller, has a short discussion, and then leaves. Now, Sessions doesn't appear to be particularly upset. In fact, in the last 24 hours, of course, he's commanding the DOJ to dig into some of the FBI texts in the Clinton probe. And why would Sessions, think of it this way, what reason would there be for Sessions and the Trump campaign and presidency in general, all the people associated with both, to antagonize the establishment further by using Sessions' probing abilities to the DOJ while the active Mueller probe is going on if they felt pessimistic about their chances of fairly quickly being fully exonerated? There wouldn't be a reason to do that. You wouldn't want to attract attention to that. You'd want to be as hush-hush as possible, probably lawyer up. Now we've got Trump declaring absolutely, before he kind of waffled on it, in all honesty. I think at the time it wasn't clear. I think he was waiting for Sessions to report in and say whether he felt that Mueller actually was doing his job or whether it was basically an attempt to smear Trump, catch him in saying something about some money laundering 20 years ago in order to shaft his presidency. Trump, I think, feels assured now that Mueller is actually doing his job properly, which is within the scope of the investigation. It involves Russian collusion in the here and now, as opposed to a Russian business deal when Trump, didn't have to color his hair artificially. Get a fucking transplant. And now he's willing to talk to him because he's like, oh, well, this is going to be easy because there was no Russian collusion during the election. The big claim of the Democrats is wrong. I can't wait till Mueller has to come out and say that because the Democrats get fucked in the ass. That's what Trump wants. There's a reason that he has Sessions. Sessions basically is number two because Pence is almost invisible. Go talk to Mueller. He's like, yeah, you can go talk to him. And I can't wait to as well. And I can't wait till that happens also because once that happens, it's probable that fairly quickly you're going to see the investigation wrap up. And we're going to get to see Mueller on live TV at some point. He's going to go and say, no, we found no evidence of Russian collusion. Look, we found evidence that years and years ago, Manafort and Podesta, the brother of Clinton's campaign chair, they were colluding in order to parasitize money. They were laundering money for criminal endeavors related to the Podesta Foundation, no less. A leftist organization that donates to Democrats. Little Tony had to step down from it to save face, and now they're like defunct, I guess. They're going to have to say that existed, but they're not going to have anything on Trump. That's my open prediction at this point. There's nothing that they have on Trump. He colluded with nobody. The election was fair, which is what the Democrats themselves said that it would be until the election didn't go their way. Then they started a shitstorm. I think that the Obamas and Clintons are nervous because they're afraid Trump will actually sick the DOJ on people that broke the law in the more real sense, like Hillary Clinton. She broke the law. They just refused to charge her. Which is why I also found it funny when I saw that the FBI had lost 50,000 texts between that Sturzak or whatever the fuck his name is and Lisa Page, a couple of FBI agents. Now they're referencing like secret societies, they're referencing everything under the sun. It's pertinent to the Clinton probe, probably to the Mueller stuff. The FBI's like, whoops, yeah, we lost 50,000 texts. Aren't we cute? How derpy and stupid we are. Like the FBI fucking loses text messages between its agents. No, it scrubbed the fucking texts. The agents tried to scrub them, or some manager tried to scrub them, or they're like, whoops, we dropped it in the ocean, there goes the server. Now, Sessions DOJ, though, is actively recovering those text messages. I can't wait to see what those pertain to. I can't wait. It looks like there's some sort of grand conspiracy. Not to be tinfoil mode, but between Fusion GPS being fake and submitted to the FBI anyway, this FISA memo that could very well detail, yeah, Trump indeed was spied upon, which is what he said to begin with. Don't you smell a rat? Also, has somebody thought of something else? Do you think Trump may have implanted loyalists that told him from day one, yeah, the Fusion GPA stuff came from the DNC? And by the way, we happen to know that you were spied on, so you can, don't worry, it'll be revealed, so you can come out and say that you were being spied on. Your fans will like that. The establishment will cry foul, but eventually they'll be exposed as liars. You can burn the whole thing to the ground, basically. It's possible. Trump has that kind of connections. He's a billionaire. He's donated to presidential campaigns, congressional campaigns, everything under the sun. He's donated tens of millions to these people. He rubs elbows with the Clintons, so he knows what they do. He knows. He has to know that they're shifty. because I'm sure that some of that stuff comes up in private conversations with mega donors, because they're all part of the same class. You get people that are part of the same group, they feel more comfy with one another. If they have more and more overlap, the more closely overlapped they are in sort of their lifestyle, their beliefs, things like that, the more they're going to reveal to one another. That can actually be their downfall. Because it'd be like, if Trump was like talking to a pedestrian, he's like, oh yeah, I launder money all the time, it's great, I make like millions and millions of dollars. That could be a problem now, couldn't it? But Trump it appears smarter than doing that, whereas the other people there, they like their champagne. Trump's a teetotaler, maybe they get a few drinks in them. Trump's like, oh, try this, like $1,000 bottle of wine, it's really good shit. Oh, have another cup, yeah, I can supply you with a couple bottles. We'll do it gratis, it'll be funny. And he gets them drunk and then, records information from them. Maybe he's been an agent all this time. Maybe Donald Trump lives the lifestyle that he lives because actually he's working with the intel community. Maybe he's trying to take down the whole New World Order. I don't fucking know. I'm not going to go into Alex Jones territory here. No offense, but the memo that he revealed the other day was already pre-existent. It's the old 99-page memo that, like, partially, I guess, overlaps with the 4-page write-up that's going to be released probably soon by Nunes and others. Although I think it probably includes more than that. I wouldn't be surprised. Here's another thing you might chew on for a bit. Do you think it's possible that specifically what happened is that because the FISA courts grant blanket warrants, do you think that the Trump organization at large may have been on a FISA warrant, a few years ago pertaining to monetary things, and that it was never rescinded, and that this authorization was then used by Clinton's people within the FBI or the NSA? Do you think that's possible? I do. Maybe even Trump's name was on it. Look, the FISA court's not paid enough to sit there for weeks reading through reams and reams of paper to look at each individual fucking name to determine whether the list is okay. They rubber stamp the FISA warrants that grant blanket surveillance powers to various orders. It's unconstitutional, but that's the way it works. I would not be surprised if Trump was on one of those FISA warrants. It probably made sense for him from the get-go to say, yeah, I've been spied on probably by the opposition because they hate the representative system. No, it's more about the fact that they want their golden girl, Hillary Clinton, to be president. Somehow he manages to outmaneuver her anyway. Look at what's happened since then. Every major media edifice attacks him. Even members of his own party attack him. He's constantly getting hammered from all sides by every possible form of propaganda known to mankind. He's a Russian. He's a Nazi. He's a bigot. He's dumb. He's demented. He's literally, it's an attempt to render him one-dimensional. When I see that, I can't help but side with him because I know that it's fake. At least most of the charges levied against him are fake. Therefore, at least most of the people charging him with anything are liars. That's essentially what I take away from it. Most people can't see that, though. Most people in the country still don't like him. They don't trust him. Look, you trust Congress or Fox or CNN to tell you your reality. I would say it's not Trump that has a mental problem. It's not him. He's not the one with the problem, dude. I think you might want to look in a mirror sometime. No, Trump's just fine. I don't think they're going to find any collusion at all. Just like for a year, I said, oh, Trump's probably going to win the next election, or almost a year. And people are like, no, it'll never happen. He'll be shafted, or he's fucking retarded or something. He's dumb. He can't do it. And I was right. Now, you fast forward now, I'm telling you, he's going to be exonerated of all this shit by Mueller. He's not going to be found to have colluded with the Russians. Now, and there are a lot of people who say, no, either he'll be framed, if they're a Trump fan, they say, well, they're pessimistic, and they say he'll be framed by the establishment. They'll pull it off somehow and get Pence in there who they can control like a puppet, or maybe Paul Ryan, or Hillary Clinton, which is, never going to happen. Or they say he actually did it. He literally is demented, Russian, and a Nazi at the same time. Nope. No, he's not. Mueller's going to probably have to come out. There's a 99% chance in the next few months, probably. Mueller's going to come out and say, no, we didn't find collusion. Look, Manafort colluded with, Tony Podesta, and they laundered millions of dollars through his organization and, Russian investors. But we don't have anything on Trump. There's nothing there to go on. It's clear that the basis for surveillance was fake to begin with. Fusion GPS made up a fake dossier, being paid to make one up. It's basically Wikipedia material, so-called. And it was slapped together because they were paid to do so by the DNC, I guess. And then the Clinton campaign, and the DNC fronted it to the FBI through, I guess, Obama's people, and said, well, look, we got to conduct surveillance on Trump. And it looks like that's probably what happened. Don't you realize how fucking worrying that would be? How despicable it would be, and how much of a slap in the face to the idea of a representative democracy it would be? No, it wouldn't stand. People would be, I think, rightfully upset. Because it would show that every claim about Trump is totally false. Once the Russia narrative falls apart, all the other narratives begin to fall apart because they rely upon that primordial bit of propaganda to cast him as the villain in order for further pieces of propaganda to be used to render him one-dimensional. This is a common tactic. If you can get one piece to stick, then you can stick the other pieces to that first one. The person themselves may not be a sticky surface, but if you can just wear away a little piece and get that one moniker on them, then if you're careful, if you're really good at targeting things, you can then cobble other things together, weigh them down, and destroy them. However, with Trump, if that first chunk of propaganda stops being effective and sloughs off of his body, all the others go bye-bye with it. In other words, you will no longer be able to claim that Trump is a negative person. And at least for a while, he'll be basically invulnerable. You would need something absolutely catastrophic to happen in order to sink his presidency for the near future. He would definitely win re-election. But that's just my thoughts, and what do I know? So that's about all. Peace out.